Good morning, everybody. It's Lynn, the Leather Bag Lady. How are you all today? It is Monday today. It is 20 after 9, and I am out with my clients today. So I had to be up and at 'em, feeling much better, but now poor Pius hasn't. Oh, it was a rough week last week, but we will have story time after today's bag. So, I've had this bag for a few months just because I don't get them very often. And when I do, I wish it was my style of bag. I really, really do, because saddle leather, um, 70s bags are very, they're not rare, but a lot of them can be very stiff, almost like a pair of cowboy boots. You got to wear it in. But when you come across a bag that is already soft and supple and a larger size, I get lots of these little bags in very small sizes. But when you get it in a larger size, this doesn't happen very often. Check out this beauty. Is this not absolutely gorgeous? I've wanted to kind of hang on to it for a bit just because, like I said, I do not come across these large kind of side bags, saddle bags very often, not in this size. It's leather. I think this is probably from a different country. I'm not sure. But look at how supple this leather is. How beautiful it is inside. A front pocket. You're going to get a phone in there, I would think. There is some color loss on the snap, but who cares? It is just beautiful. Nice gusset on the bottom. It's a decent size. What is it? 11 inches by 9.5, I think. Strap drop is 23 inches, which is amazing. Look at how thick this leather is. It is fantastic. Like I said, if this was my kind of bag, you would not be seeing it. Crossbody bags are not my thing. We've talked about this many times. I have big boobs and I do not need anything passing through to make them look even bigger than they are. And it just wouldn't be big enough for me. But it is quite roomy. And not all of them have an extra pocket. And this detail here is just so simple. You know, it's rolled and it is actually leather. It's not glazing, it's leather. This picture of a cow, and then so I think it's a South American bag. But I mean, it's just so simply made, but beautiful. All the stitching is perfect. It's just amazing quality. It really is fantastic quality. So like I said, I've had this for a little while and I just really haven't wanted to part with it. But everything's got to find a new home because I've got way too many of them. Which leads me to story time. So this weekend was Super Crawl. Disaster. So about 2 weeks ago, the Weather Channel was saying that, 70-80% rain, thunderstorms, whatnot. And about Wednesday last week, it changed to just being a cloudy day. 20% chance of rain, something in that area. So I actually was presuming that we weren't going to go because the weather was not going to cooperate. Then, as I said, the weather changed and we made our plans. We didn't go to the trailer Friday night. What did we do? Oh, we went and picked up some sticks. They're about an hour away from here is a huge tobacco growing area, and they use these sticks um in some way. I don't really know how. And then in some of the rural areas, they put snow fences up. And some of these sticks are used for that. That is just when you've got a big field and you don't want the snow to drift onto the roads. They put these snow fences up and it stops some of the snow. So there was a gentleman in Brantford selling a bunch of sticks. I mean, they're 48 inches long and like an inch and a half wide. We bought a few bundles to repair for the repair on the trailer when it's not going to be this weekend because we've got little Miss Tegan's birthday party and uh, Pius's niece's husband's birthday. So we're going to be busy again this weekend. But the weekend after that, we are going to start ripping this trailer apart to try and fix it. So the strapping on the trailers is really very small. They're like 2x1s, 3x1s. So we thought that this was a very inexpensive way to be able to make the repairs. Plus, it is weathered and all the shrinking and all that kind of stuff has probably already happened. So we went to Brantford on Friday night. We went to Red Lobster in Brantford, and what a shit show that was. Yeah, just talk. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this. There was a half-hour wait for a table, which is fine. Then when it almost looked like they had a huge influx of people, then they had a huge amount of people leaving. All of us that were waiting, we all got tables, and whatever tables were left over pretty well remained uncleaned for the whole time we were eating our meal. And I mean, there was a huge round table, and it's the first thing you see when you walk through the front doors behind the hostess's little podium. And it pretty well stayed dirty. Whatever dishes and stuff they took off tables behind it got put on this big table. The tables weren't cleaned until they had to be cleaned because there was somebody waiting for a table. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm a big woman. I carry weight, but there were wait staff that I mean, props to them. I don't know how they did it. I mean, they moved like molasses, which I would have been too. But like when you're in the food industry, like you've got to be, and then the manageress, lazy, lazy, lazy. She walked past these tables. Everybody else is running around like chickens with their head cuts off because it was so busy. And this manageress, who could have been clearing the tables for her team so that there were clean tables waiting and ready for customers, if not that, they were at least looking presentable, set and everything, not full of dirty dishes and empty glasses. And it was bad. It was really bad. So anyway, the meal was lovely. So I guess maybe at the end of the day, that's all that mattered. But we got home, we went to bed, kind of early, to get up at 4:30 Saturday morning to go and get my spot. Got up at 4:30, got there 10 to 5, claimed my spot. Little security guard came over and said, you can't set up till 9 o'clock. And we're like, where does it say that? So he showed me an email and we had our sheet. Well, actually, we didn't have the super crawl sheet that had been handed out in August at the art crawl to give us all the hows and whats and wheres and whys of the free market space for super crawl. That was not on there. And within 20 minutes of us being there, there was probably four or five other vendors that were there to set up. And the guy just threw his hands up in the air and said, I guess there's nothing I can do. And I said, no, like the left hand has to talk to the right hand because this is ridiculous. I've been doing art crawl for 9 years now. 2 years we were gone with COVID, but I've been in that spot that I was in Saturday, maybe at least 4 out of the 7 years that I've been doing it. I've been in the exact same spot. And it's kind of the coveted spot because it's underneath the street lamps. Because this lot is not serviced, so there's no hydro. So, 7:30, 8 o'clock, once it starts getting dark, if you're towards the back, you'd be as well going home. And I usually stay till 9:30, 10 o'clock. We did plan to leave early because we wanted to go to the trailer. So I didn't set up fully. So eventually I set up. They wanted us to move. They said we couldn't be there. And I just was like, I'm not moving. There was no signs. There was no, pylons or caution tape or anything to section off this portion of this area. And I said, not moving. So they didn't even challenge us. We were there. And then it started to rain. And we're like, what the F? So I had brought tarps by accident only because they were in a kind of a big business bag that I took with me kind of last minute. Wow, was I glad. I covered up my belts. I covered up my table with all my bags, and it just didn't stop. I can get started about 10:30 and we left at 1:30, 2 o'clock. I was soaked. I was freezing cold. My hands, it was so wet. My fingers were all wrinkly, like you'd come out of the bath. But it was this fine, misty rain, and it kept looking like it was going to stop. And like I said, 9 years, I have never had that happen. It's rained for maybe 10 minutes or whatever in the past, but never have I missed a super crawl or art crawl because of rain. If it's blatantly going to rain in the weather forecast, I just don't go. So it was so disappointing. I sold one belt, $20, and that was it. We packed up and we left. We went straight to the trailer, and it was raining in Cayuga by the time we got there. The mosquitoes this weekend were the worst they have ever been. So we didn't go out of the trailer on Saturday night. We just stayed in, watched a movie, and went to bed. Yesterday we got up. We did have a fire just because we had so much cardboard and stuff that we needed to burn. And we did have a nice fire, but the mosquitoes, like even Pius does not get bitten. He had to put bug spray on yesterday. It was so bad. And I got one bite, which was a miracle. I had pants on, socks on. I'd sprayed the crap out of myself, and I got one bite on my heel, which of course this morning going to the gym was a nightmare because my sock and my running shoe were rubbing on it. But it was a funny old weekend. It was drizzly yesterday too for a portion of it. It was just brutal. Absolutely brutal. This summer has sucked, and the mosquito population at our trailer park, because it is quite wooded, it's insane. Like I have to be careful. Like even seeing Pius's mosquito bites, they were just little tiny circles, whereas me, they all swell up, they go white, my skin goes really tight, and it's just like, this is just some bullshit. Oh, so we came back home yesterday and it was just a wash. But this week is going to be fun. It's going to thunder and lightning and rain tomorrow, but we don't care. We're going off to Fort Erie to see the Prince of Wales Stakes. I pretty well go every year, and we met a really nice couple last year, and we're hoping that we bump into them again because now we're Mr. and Mrs. So they had met later in life, and we had some good conversation last year. Thursday we're going to a Blue Jays game. The Blue Jays are fighting for a wild card spot in the playoffs, so it could be a very, very good game. And then Saturday, we have Tegan's birthday and Huey's birthday. So it is going to be a busy week. And that's fine because, it's just stuff to look forward to every day. Pius has now got my cold, which really kicked my ass. And my nose doesn't run, my eyes do. So poor Pius, the minute he puts his head anywhere but straight up, it just runs out of his nose, the poor guy. So, but he was up and off to work this morning. I went to the gym. I didn't go at all last week. So I'm going to have a few sore muscles, I think, this week. But that's okay. I've got my clients today. I couldn't go Friday. I just was not well on Friday. What are we doing today? The Queen's Head, which is a British style pub in Burlington on Brant Street, is closing. Their last day is this coming Saturday. So I take my clients there quite regularly. So today will be our last visit there. Our favorite waitress, Amanda, pretty well gave us a heads up and said, listen, it is going to be a zoo in here this last week of their being open. People are coming who used to go there in high school, who got engaged there, had work lunches. We were there a couple of weeks ago and there was a group of older gentlemen who used to meet there for lunch when they were working. And they all came back for a bit of a reunion before it closes. So it's kind of sad. It's, both of the waitresses, Amanda, our waitress, the lady we speak to all the time there, has been there 27 years. And it's just the landlord accepted an offer for more money. It always come down to money. And the poor gentleman who has been running the Queen's Head for the last 21 years had no idea. He just presumed his lease would be renewed again and, getting close to retirement. He's an older gentleman, but wasn't ready to pull the plug on it yet. And it is no more. He just got told that, yeah, we're not renewing your lease and you have a month to vacate. So, and the bar in this place is amazing. Maybe, I don't know, I'll see if it's appropriate. I'll take a little bit of a video of it today. And just so you can see like the wood, you just don't get bars like this anymore. So apparently he's going to be taking it apart, and I presume there will be people in line to buy it. I can only imagine. And it's quite a good size. So anyway, on that note, I will say cheerio, and hopefully you all had a great weekend. If the weather was shit where you are, then you feel my pain. If you had a great weekend, then lucky you. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.